There are lots of words that actually come to our email. So let's start with Vimal, Kumar. Is Vimal here? Yeah, I can see his name here. Okay, so the 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 first thing, if the size of the model is correct, the camera distortion should not make everything oversized on the longer range. But if it's near the camera, it's obviously going to distort all the chair. So you need to be very careful with the wide angle. Okay, so this is a Vimal Kumar bedroom. So the first thing first that I will comment about the camera angle. Okay, so actually I can see that the lighting itself, I don't think there's a problem with the lighting. The lighting is okay. Yeah. So I guess what we can do to improve, let's say I will change the size of this, the height, like 50%. So if I'm the one who took the photography, I will think as a photographer. Okay. So if you want to think about as a photographer, you need to always keep in mind that you want to present the experience of the room, and you need to show the most interesting things on the room, which is the design, right? I can see that the design of this room is really nice. On the ceiling area, the ceiling area is quite unique, although we rarely see this kind of ceiling design in Indonesia, but probably in India is common things. So probably I will show until like here. So I will get a wider ceiling. And then obviously I want to show all the bed. If the bed have some leg, so then you should show the leg. And then this is obviously the floor, okay? And then this is the wardrobe, and this is the wall. So probably I'm going to cut the wall probably here. So the composition of the image will be like this. We need to show a little bit of the floor, so it's not like being cut like this, to show some space. So like as the room is still having a space and it's not too crowded. If you want to take a photos of a room, you need to make sure that the audience can experience the room through your photos. So probably I will cut the ceiling like this. This is much better, I guess. See, okay? So I might need to show you one of my work. Wait a second, okay? I want to open my work. You can go to check our website if you want. Portfolio here, and then let's see the bedroom interior. Okay, this one. See, this is a frontal shot of this bedroom. As you can see, I still put a space from the bed, yeah, and you can see there's a space here, and I want to show some experience of this room. You can see the air conditioner. It's quite cold, but it's also warm at the same time because I show the warm lighting, right? I use some spotlight to create inviting ambience. That's how I always create my rendering. Okay, so back to your rendering. You need to put some space on the floor once you show the bed. And you say that there was a wall behind. Yes, that's the problem with the small room. Even a big room, if for the sake of photography, sometimes you have to use a camera clipping. If you use V-Ray or Corona, you should have a camera clipping to clip the wall behind your camera. Okay, that's the camera angle. Okay, and I love the gold material here. Look really nice. And then the reflection of the glass, the mirror is really nice. Just your image lacks of detail. I mean, like this kind of table lamps need more work. If I'm the one who create the lighting, I'm going to turn on the light of this table lamp. Okay, so and then the things that you need to improve, the downlight. Your downlight is actually flying because I can see there's a shadow here. You not put a good attention on the snapping. You need to snap this downlight to your ceiling. Okay. The other things that is this things is flying because it looks flying for me. Probably you need like a wire to the ceiling to make it look more realistic. Okay, you need to put more detail on the frame of your wardrobe doors. I don't know what's kind of the material of this. It just, you need to put some reflection, even though it's made, yeah, made reflection. It still have a little bit like a egg scene reflection, including this one, including this panel, right? In terms of lighting, the hidden light on the ceiling is too bright. It gives you lots of, I mean, like too much highlight, like it's a burning lighting here, which is not convenience for the one who look at it. And it makes the image like, oh, this room going to be burned. It's going very hot. It's not going to very comfortable to live in this kind of room, which is actually the design is really nice. So you need to consider the audience thoughts, right? Everything is about the audience. What do you want to present and what do you want the audience to feel? See the rendering that I did. You can see the audience can feel that this room is really inviting, right? So it's cold, like a really, really nice, and you can feel the air conditioner, you can feel the marble floor, and then you can feel the warmth of the lights. So you need to create those kind of inviting. You need to play with dark and bright area at the same time. Do not afraid with dark area. Sometimes clients say dark is not about the shadow area, but your image simply need to be brightness and contrast channel like this. You just need to add more brightness and that's it. Most of people is really persistent, right? No, I want this kind of lighting. I like this kind of lighting. So how I can present this with this kind of lighting, because this is what exactly the lighting it's meant to be. So how to check it? Just add some brightness like this. See, I only add some brightness like this. Your image is completely different. Can you feel it, Vimal? So I can see that your previous image is lack of brightness. Again, when you do some rendering, the rendering is actually showing yourself to the audience. It shows your character, right? If I can see that you put a lot of effort. Like I know this is probably a pre-made model for the bed, okay? But I can see the other model like the ceiling and then the wardrobe and all the things, the details is already there. So it's quite good. I can see that you are quite enjoying the modeling part, right? But I cannot see that you are enjoying the material part, the shaders. And you, once you finish with the modeling, you actually already running out of energy, and then you just want to finish the rendering, and that's it. We need to have a big patience, and you need to think that rendering is actually having fun, which is, if you think rendering is having fun, it's like you playing games. If you playing games, you love the games. When you are dead, you will start over again, right? Always start over again when you enjoy the game. So you just need to, I can see that this kind of lighting, and you are not putting more brightness on your image. It's like you are afraid of something, that you are always afraid of something, that you always limit yourself. Don't do that. Again, this is just rendering. It's not like a factory, like a furniture factory. If you do something wrong, you need to buy another raw material and cost you money. But this, again, is just rendering. So if you do wrong, you just need to re-render, and that's it. It's not going to cost you lots of money, like buying raw material, right? It's just electricity, and that's it. Or just put it on your Adobe Photoshop and add some brightness like this, just to test your rendering. See, your image become way much better like this. So one thing that I want you to always remember when you do rendering, always remember my words. Break your limits. Yeah? Break your limits. Always. Always try to break your limits. Otherwise, nobody will break your own limits. Our own enemy is ourselves. Okay? So, and then let's see if we try to add a little bit contrast in this image. See, just a little bit contrast, it's also changed your image. It's become more inviting. Wow, it's bright. I love to have this kind of room. See, probably just give a lower intensity on the downlight, and that's it. It's going to look more inviting. See, Arya said this image is actually quite good. Not quite good, so good. Yeah, the brightness is give the feeling, but how you can give the feeling is to break your own limit. Explore. You can use brightness, or you can use curve. While I don't really like curve actually, because it's so personal. If you have a big team and you have to redo the curve, it's going to give you lots of problem. I use a level all the time. See, the image is more inviting like this. Okay, let's try to use level like this. Just play with the slides. There are no fixed numbers and fixed things about this level, curve, or brightness. It's all about your eye. It's all about yourself, right? So you need to always think that yourself is precious. There's no guidelines. Yes, you need to think that yourself is precious. And if you think that your life is yourself is precious, break your limits. So it's really nice, right? So, but I will stick around with the brightness. Okay. And then let's try to play with the color balance. Don't afraid with the color balance. Never afraid with the with playing with this midtones, shadow and highlight. Okay. See, we can change a little bit of the mood. I mean, like you can feel that it's more inviting. Sometimes you might fail. It's okay. Probably it's better like it is what it is, right? And you probably can do some color correction using curve. There's a red, green, blue here. We can play with this. See, your image turned like a Alec Roman style with the greenish things, like Marvel superheroes, something like that. And then you can try to play with the green like this. So don't be afraid to play with this, but make sure that you know what you are doing. This one is a little bit neutral, but it's more like Instagram effect. So it's not going to work. But see, you only need to use brightness and contrast in your image, then your image is actually already good. So keep it up, okay? And then this one, again, you need to give more attention on the detail, okay? Detail is everything. God's in the detail, okay? And please, don't use this. It sucks. Never, ever use this. Yeah, this kind of thing is actually for tropical design. And if you have a really empty space, and then usually it's the woods is actually not this dark. It's always light brown something. And if there's a door in this cabinet or drawer, it's going to be in the way. So it doesn't make any sense to put some kind of accessory like this in front of your drawers, right? And then for this calendar, I cannot see there's a space between the wall. While this calendar, if this is a woods, usually the calendar is actually in the middle at the center of the woods, which is you actually need a space between the wall and the seats of the calendar. And the calendar needs to be a bit wavy, a little bit, just put some bump using noise with big noise, but just a little bit bump. So it's going to look a bit wavy instead of like a board, right? Sure, there's always a space to improve your image in post-production. Even though you are using Corona, using the curve, using the contrast, highlight, anything that you use, even though you are using LUT, you still need to do some post-production. It's going to always improve your image to a different level. Like you can have a render element, right? Like a previous training, the previous crash course that Bayu brought to us is he used render element to enhance the reflection, right? I was trying to get the most of it from the V-Ray that time. And then I'm also trying to get the same things in Corona, but you know, like we are humans. We never satisfied. We not easily satisfied, right? Yes, sometimes we say, yes, I did it. But next time you saw what you did, I think still can improve a little bit. Always like that, right? So that is a really something that we need to acknowledge, that those kind of things is actually make us bigger. Next, same with Evan did mention earlier. It seems I cannot think about which one is the point of this image, the focal point of this image. You know, if you use real real camera in real life, there's a pointer for the targets, right? So same with if you use 3D Max, the camera always have a target. It's really useful to point your target, your point of view. In this image, I cannot see if it's the dressing table, the dressing area, or the television. So I want to put more focus on the dressing area. So I will crop this. I will use portrait instead of the landscape, and I will pan my camera to the left, so I can get more portion of the dressing area, and that's it. And that's it for Vimal.